everybody. Welcome to the First Two Beers podcast.
Hi.
That was Chris McVinney. I'm Elliot Welsh, your other co-host. Hope you're excited, because guess what today is?
Top 10 day.
Top 10 movies of 2016. That's right, ladies and gents. We're discussing our top 10 movies of
2016.
last year. It's now late January. I know what you're thinking. What's up with a top 10 list coming out in late January? Why wasn't it at the beginning of January like everybody else? Well, guess what, people? We take our time. We watch the films that we think are worthy of being watched. So
we take our notes.
We do the research. We make sure we have
cross our I's and dot our T's.
Exactly. We do all that. We want quality lists.
We're going to give you our top 10. That's what's going to happen. You're going to enjoy it more than likely.
All right. Enough build-up. Let's get to it.
Let's do this.
Top 10 of the year. Starting with 10, of course. Working our way down to 1. Chris, do you want to start or should I?
I'm going to go ahead and fire off my number 10.
All right.
Number 10 film for me of 2016 goes to an underrated movie.
He's building it up.
It's not underrated. It's just underseen, probably.
Okay.
It's Moonlight.
Moonlight. Currently maybe underseen, but it's getting the buzz. It's
Yeah.
definitely a big Oscar contender.
I don't know if it's... Is it even get a wide release yet? Is it in our town?
We live in the Footloose town, so we don't get films here. And they don't let us dance, Chris.
We got the one theater.
All right. Number 10, Moonlight. Chris, I will admit that is not on my list. I saw the film. I enjoyed the film. It just didn't make my top 10. To be honest, probably didn't make my top 15 either. But, good movie. It was a good year for films. I just had a lot of movies that I liked more
I
than
think
that.
part of the
But I
reason
respect that movie.
why it made my top 10, which is going to be a few films on here, is I went into them with pretty much zero, low to zero expectation, and then was just very surprised. Now, could that movie have been better? Yes. Could it have ended differently? It would have probably been higher on my list.
Let's be honest, this is all subjective here.
Yeah.
This is just our opinions.
I thought it was a great movie. I made my top 10. Tells a good story, I think.
See, to go with that, I was almost in the complete opposite boat. Whereas I'd heard all this awards hype for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have overhyped it a little bit.
Well, the first time I heard about it is when it won the Golden Globe for Best Picture for
Drama, yeah.
Drama.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is this movie? I've never even heard of it. So then I had to watch it, and I said, all right, I get it. Should it have won Best Picture for Drama with the movies it was up against? I don't think so, but it was a very good movie.
Regardless, it's worthy of your number 10, Chris. Why? Why is it? Why do you like this movie?
It stuck with me. Like I watched it. I thought about it afterwards. The two kids, when the main character, Siobhan,
yeah.
When he's a kid, like a 8-year-old, 9-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
that kid did a good job. When he's like 16, 17, that guy did a really good job, in my opinion. I really felt sorry for him. Like, I felt that. And then when he was an
During
adult.
his teenage years.
Yeah. And then when he was adult, that actor did a good job. It was overall.
It's a pretty big change when he's an adult.
Yeah.
The casting for that movie is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Because it almost seemed like they just had a Boyhood situation where they're like,
filmed it
where they were like, we just filmed this movie
over time,
and that's why these three actors are literally the same person. They are not. They are three different actors, and they all have the same eyes, those same sad eyes, and yeah, they do a really good job, Chris.
I did like the one thing I read about it that I'll notate about this is they specifically didn't have each actor that plays the same character, the kid, the teenager, and the adult, watch the other actors.
Really?
So they wanted each interpretation of their own character. They didn't
go in and completely blind.
Yeah, they didn't want the adult one to look at the teenage one and kind of act like him.
Oh yeah.
They wanted it to be his own thing.
Which, power to them, that worked even better.
Yeah, it was really good.
You know, not very story heavy. That's sometimes my problem with these Oscar movies is it's just, I love good characters, but I need
something
a little bit more plot.
Okay.
But
because this is definitely just a character study of this guy's life.
Totally, yeah. And it's interesting. It's fascinating, and
Based, seriously, I had no idea that it was set essentially in like the hood in Miami.
Yeah.
I thought it was some movie coming out of like Africa. Not Africa.
So you were completely blind
Like
on this.
I had thought it was like a foreign film.
So you had seen the trailer, nothing.
I saw absolutely nothing besides
Wow.
it win Best Dramatic Picture
Yeah.
at the Golden Globes and said, "What is this movie?"
And you said, I know that Hollywood
I
Foreign
did not
Press.
pick that to win,
The Hollywood Foreign Press knows what they're talking about. I gotta
Yeah.
watch that picture.
and it hit my top 10, number 10,
Very well.
with a bullet.
So thank you, Hollywood Foreign Press, for
Yeah,
enlightening Mr. McVinney and
you guys have always been
getting
there
his
for me.
top 10 started off to a
Good start.
rocking good start. Yeah, Chris, go with number 9.
My number
Shoot
9, and it's a Marvel movie.
Can I guess?
You can.
It's basically between two. It's Civil War, Captain America: Civil War, or Doctor Strange. Knowing you, I'm gonna say it's Doctor Strange.
It is Doctor Strange.
All right, I know you enjoyed Doctor Strange.
I did like Doctor Strange a lot, and you know I like me some Benedict Cumberbatch.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's a phenomenal actor. It was just a good story. Doctor Strange was enough of a different type of Marvel movie.
Totally.
Out of the woodwork for how Marvel movies are with what he's not a superhero. He's a regular guy who literally gets to be a, I guess, superhero with air quotes around it
He's a good
By-
surgeon. He's a really good surgeon.
by studying hard and practicing.
Yeah.
That's how he got good at what he did.
Not a bad life
He did
lesson.
not have a super serum. He is not from space.
He didn't get hit by a meteor.
He's just a guy that got in a car crash and worked his ass off.
There you go.
That's why I liked it. So if you got a problem with that, man,
I don't know. Once again, Doctor Strange didn't make my top 10, but listen, if he throws a movie out there that I don't like, I'm going to tell him. But I like Doctor Strange. It's probably middle tier Marvel for me, which is a compliment because Marvel has made pretty much all good movies except for Thor 2 and
like
don't
the
know.
first Hulk.
yeah, I even liked Iron Man 2. So like,
That's weird. You're the
it-
guy, huh?
well, it wasn't bad.
Iron Man
I
2
wouldn't
wasn't
call
bad.
it a bad movie. So I'm saying
That's
they
what
really
you
don't have
wrote.
many bad movies. So yeah, Doctor Strange, it was nice. I think my thing with it is that it was a little bit, it's an origin story, and with all these superhero movies, I get a little sick of these origin stories.
Well, they got
And it reminded me a little bit of Batman Begins, to be honest with you. It's like, oh, let's go off to Asia and
Oh yeah.
learn our mythical ways and
Sure.
become a superhero.
They go to a weird mystical foreign land.
Country that we've never heard of, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like Wacavia or whatever
yeah,
it's called.
special effects were awesome in that
Oh,
movie, though.
it was good. It was very Inception-y. The mirror dimension. It was. I mean,
We'll try to
it was
warn you.
hard.
We'll try to warn you on spoilers a little bit as we go down this list.
I will not.
Chris will just
You should have seen these movies by now. It's late Jan.
come on, guys, get caught up here. I'll try to warn you a little bit. I will say with the I thought the ending of this movie was really clever. The way that he beat the
Yeah.
final boss, if you will.
Yeah.
Through
annoyed him.
he annoyed him so much that he saved the world.
Yeah. Hey.
Go Doctor Strange.
All right. What's your number 10?
You want me to go to 10?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
No, hit me with 7 first.
That was okay.
Or hit me with 8.
Probably
8
probably.
yeah. Chris, I don't give two shits about your number 8. Go straight to 7.
My number 8 could have been higher on my list, but when I was really sitting here going through the order, my number 8
Mm-hmm.
is got one of my top favorite actors in it, Mr. Denzel Washington.
It's Fences.
It is Fences. Why you steal my thunder?
Chris, I'm going to
I'm
stand by what I said. I don't give two shits about your number 8.
Fences is a good movie.
I saw Fences. I bet it's an awesome play.
It was. I watched a play. That's what I watched. That's why I liked Fences.
Well, you know
It
what?
was literally
If
like
we're-
watching a play. And I just think Denzel can do no wrong in my eyes.
I know
Minus
that. You're a big Denzel
Deja
fan.
Vu and some other crap he's done. But it was a good movie. I liked I liked his stances on some things. I know a lot of people thought he was a dick to his son. Hey, he just took care of his son. He did step out on his wife.
Put a
He
roof
was a
over his
dick.
head.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he had problems. It was a good movie. I don't care. I liked it. I enjoyed it more
Oh.
than I thought I would. It's another one of those. I was surprised going in with low expectations and was surprised by it.
I'm sorry I was so hostile.
Yeah, take it back a notch.
I
Can't wait to
I
do it
didn't
on all
hate-
of your movies.
take it back. I don't. What did I say? I don't give two shits.
Mhm.
I give some shits about Fences. Okay. My only problem, it was just a little too long for me. It was. Oh,
I didn't even think it was long.
God, I
I
thought
watched it and was like, it's over?
if you're gonna do pretty much a play verbatim
Mm-hmm.
in a movie, including being like, oh, we're going to just almost have this whole movie take place in one location.
It's literally like his
The
backyard.
house, the backyard, yeah. If you're not going to do any changes like that to make it more cinematic, then at least try to condense it so it's not 2 hours and 20 minutes, which I think it is.
No.
Because it is
No.
2 hours plus for sure. And I felt that time. Like,
I did not. Like, literally, you could have put another hour on there and I'd be like, it's great. But that's because I enjoy watching actors do their craft.
oh yeah.
I think you like
I just like
background and special effects.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I'm the tool.
You're the big Transformers fan. So,
Now, how dare you say that, Chris? How dare you put those words in my mouth?
you're right. It is 2 hours and 20 minutes.
All right.
Felt like 20 to me.
Okay.
20 minutes.
Felt like
20 minutes.
Felt like 3 hours and 20 minutes to me. Fences. Listen, Denzel gives a great performance.
Every time.
He also directed that movie.
I know. Aced it.
Not as great of a directing job, I don't believe.
Aced it. If he doesn't win the Oscar, then he might.
Then they have made a correct decision.
I don't even know if he's nominated for.
Listen, guys, if you want to see some actors act their butts off, definitely watch Fences. Viola Davis, great. Denzel, great. I think Viola's going to win Best Supporting Actress.
She should.
She probably should have won Best Lead Actress, to be honest. It's more of a lead role. But she's nominated for supporting. I think she should win because guess what? She's great in that movie. And I was with you too! With the snot coming down her face.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good scene.
So you do like it.
Good drama with the son. I need more plot. I'm sorry. I need some more plot, Chris.
These are character studies, man.
It's not a bad movie.
Oh, it sounds like you.
And now I've yelled at you so much, and I have to spew out what my number 10 is, which I am nervous, Chris.
I am on the edge of my seat now.
I am nervous because I believe if I went through the rest of my top 10 list, everything except for this movie, I would say we're all fresh tomatoes on Rotten Tomatoes. This film is probably got 25, 35%, I believe. This movie, and I have a caveat here because it's a certain version of this movie. Number 10, Batman versus Superman, the Ultimate Edition. And I was just talking about how long movies are. This is the Ultimate Edition, which, yes, is 3 hours long. Chris, I want to hear your thoughts first.
How dare you come at me?
I was so nervous.
With good acting choice movies I'm picking.
No, I haven't. I stand by
you
my
go
number
with
10.
Batman v Superman. You're even saying it wrong. It's Batman v Superman.
I know what the V means.
Oh, they're both named Martha? Both are moms?
Listen, I can name flaws with almost every movie on my list.
I cannot. Did you see Fences? It's great.
They're minor. Some are minor. Some are a little bit less minor. But guess what? It's very rare you find.
You said it earlier. Subjective. This is your top
subjective,
10.
and it's very rare you find a perfect movie. Batman versus Superman. Watched this movie probably about 3 times at least.
Holy crap!
All the way through, and I can't help
Does it
it.
get better every time.
Well, there's something about it that keeps me coming back for more. And
the first time I fell asleep during it. The second time when I watched the Ultimate Edition, I was like, "Yeah, this is still dozy for me."
It's not a loud, fun CGI fest. Your typical action movie.
You're right. There was nothing fun about that movie.
I mean, fun is a word that we're using. It's not like Marvel. It's not light and happy and all fun all the time.
Sure,
but
it's not brightly lit.
I like the fact that Batman versus Superman is a heavy drama. I like that the stakes are high. I like that it feels epic. I like that the music feels like real quality score. I've noticed that about Batman vs. Superman the more I've watched it. Like, I love that music.
They effed up Doomsday in that. They just messed up a lot of stuff in that. Batman killing people. Can't do that. That's against his thing.
I understand.
There's certain codes for comic book movies and for certain superheroes. I get that. Who's that? Zack Snyder?
That's the director, Zack Snyder.
He wants to do his own thing. Stop. Because obviously
I
the movies you
understand.
make aren't good.
I understand that we all have our preconceptions of what Batman's supposed to be, and obviously you've read some of the comics, so you know more about Doomsday and what you expect out of Doomsday. But I'm just looking at this as one movie, and the fact they even mentioned in the movie that this is an older Batman. And even Alfred's like, oh, we're doing this to people now, or
Yeah.
this is a Batman who's at his lowest point. He has.
Robin's died.
We've assumed, his Robin has been killed. They allude to that. The world has been attacked by aliens. He feels useless at this point because he has worked his whole life fighting crime, and all of a sudden it's meaningless because now, the level of villain that he has to face is so much bigger than anything he's had to face in Gotham City. This is no, Day at the Park versus the Riddler. This is the world could be destroyed. And, I think Ben Affleck does such a good job as Bruce Wayne and Batman. And this is only in, his first co-leading performance in this movie. I can't wait to see his solo Batman movie. Solo Batman movie directed by Ben Affleck, starring Ben Affleck's Batman, gets me excited. So hopefully it comes to be. There's something about that movie. It's got, like I said, it feels epic.
The best part about that movie is the credits.
I'm telling you.
No, I do like that Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. That's because that Gal Gadot is one fine piece of ash.
This is Chris Farley, everybody.
I got impressions too.
There we go. All right, I got to wrap up my Batman vs Superman because we can talk.
I feel like we were talking about as long as the movie was.
Listen, we have a difference of opinion there. I understand a lot of people didn't enjoy this movie as much as I did, and I'm telling you, the Ultimate Edition is a lot better than the normal version.
I will agree.
It fills in so many gaps. It makes Lex Luthor a much better villain and not such a weird little weasel. All right, Chris, I'm going to move on from Batman vs. Superman. I'm tired of being berated like this.
This is the guy who gave me hard for fences.
Number 9. All right, now I've got some quality films here. Number 9, Chris, I don't know if you've seen this movie.
It's Other People, isn't it?
It's a film called Other People.
You are hard on this movie's nuts.
You haven't seen this movie.
I had my cursor was hovering over play the other night on Netflix for it. And I said, I can't do it.
Come on.
I don't like Molly Shannon.
Well, here's the thing. I don't really like her either.
She's one of those cancer?
In this movie, yeah. Yeah, let me explain Other People. And for those of you who want to see Other People, it's on Netflix right now. Story of this guy, played by Jesse Plemons, actor who's been in a lot of things. He's Landry from Friday Night Lights. He was in Breaking Bad. He was in Fargo Season 2. Real good actor.
Real salt of the earth.
So he plays the gay son of Molly Shannon, who obviously is the former SNL
superstar
character. Yeah, she was Superstar. Character, Mary Catherine Gallagher. But this is definitely a dramedy, and she has cancer in the movie. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, God, this sounds depressing, but it's not. It's got a lot.
I'll watch any movie where Molly Shannon dies.
That was a dark joke, Chris.
That was dark. I don't know you, Molly, if you're listening.
What if she's listening? Joking. What if she's a big fan?
I was just joking.
Molly Shannon gives a great performance in this movie. It's just a really realistic take on this situation that this family's on. And it's not just all about the cancer. It's also about how, like, the dad doesn't really accept the son for being gay a little bit. And Jesse Plemons, man.
He's a good actor.
He is so good. He is... This is what I kept thinking when I was watching him in this movie. This is a young Philip Seymour Hoffman. Like...
That's good. That's a good description, too.
This is... Because he can just become these characters. And they are so... Oh, definitely R.I.P. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Damn. Great actor. Hopefully, Jesse Plemons can live up to this high praise.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be Nicolas Cage.
That's stupid.
You know, when Andy Samberg does that, that's high praise.
Oh, when he's in the cage?
Yeah, in the cage with Cage. Oh, man. We were going well for a little bit there, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, Other People... really,
number 9 film.
Yeah, another. I'm telling you, I think you would enjoy it. Watch it, folks. It's on Netflix. Number 8, a Marvel movie.
So it's Civil War.
It's Captain America: Civil War.
The best Captain America movie.
Absolutely.
Winter Soldier.
No, I stand behind it. It's definitely the number 1 Captain America movie.
They just keep getting better. Caps.
True.
Captain America. And just keep getting better.
For everything that I've said so far about movies being too light and fun, for everything I was just saying when I was giving my Batman vs. Superman review, Civil War does it in a way that just works. Like, this is just a series of scenes that will make you be like, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome.
I'll tell you, the Russo brothers.
Yeah, the directors of this movie and Winter Soldier, the second Captain America movie.
And a lot of episodes of Community.
Yeah, that's where they got their start, wasn't it? I think Arrested Development as well, maybe.
Maybe, but I know Community for sure, and it makes sense why I like it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they put Abed Nadir. I don't know his acting name or his real name in real life.
I don't know what you just said.
Abed Nadir? He's Abed.
Oh, Abed from Community.
Yeah, he's in either Winter Soldier or Civil War.
He is in Winter Soldier,
yeah.
and then the guy who plays the Dean is in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
They get their little Community cameos in there for sure. Just the way they
introduced Spider-Man was good.
Yeah, they just had so many plates spinning at the same time. They're introducing Black Panther.
Yep.
Did a great job doing that. Like, you care for that character, and really, he doesn't have that much screen time. Like,
no, but he is important at the end.
It's an origin story for that character,
Yeah.
and they do it so quickly, and yet it works. Like, you buy when spoiler alert, his dad dies. Like, you're like, dude, get revenge on your dad. Go kick all their asses.
Yeah.
I love it. And then, yeah, the way that they get Spider-Man in there as well, plus all the other Avengers are in there, and it doesn't feel crowded. It works.
They did a very good job of combining a lot of big characters.
And yet it's still Captain America's story.
Yeah.
Like, it still feels like it's his movie, even though you got Tony Stark in there for a ton of it as well.
It's really a Captain America Iron Man movie.
So yeah, I like these heroes battling each other, apparently, so far on my list. I will say with Civil War...
A lot of battles, actually. Batman versus Superman, Molly Shannon versus Cancer.
3 in a row so far, guys. Your hate comments, just put them right below. Make sure you specify that they're for Chris and not me. That big battle right in the middle of the movie where it's basically
Giant Man,
our side versus,
is that the one with
Cap
Giant
side
Man?
Versus Giant Man pops up.
Which
Spider-Man gets in the action for the first time.
They get Scott Lang into it, as Ant-Man,
Hawkeye.
And they introduce him as Giant Man. They do a lot in that,
and they make it work. My problem with that a little bit is that there's not really the stakes aren't that high,
right?
Because they're not willing to kill each other.
No,
because they're still friends. I think maybe if you wanted to move this from 8 on the list to a little bit further down, if they would have had the guts to actually kill
either
Cheetos,
Tony Stark or Rhodey.
Yeah, Rhodey.
Because in the comic book Civil War,
Captain America dies.
Captain America dies. But at least I did like when they're fighting and Hawkeye is going against Black Panther, and he's like, "Hey, I'm what is Hawkeye's? What is his name? What is Hawkeye's name in the movie? Clayton.
You're close. You're getting close.
Clayton.
We'll get back to it. But yeah, I know.
But yeah, when he says, "Hey, I'm this person," and Black Panther's like,
I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. That's great.
Clint Barton.
Clint Barton, the name of Hawkeye. For all of you Hawkeye fans out there, we're sorry we couldn't get that.
And we're just screaming it into your.
Yeah, you're like, please remember. It's Clint Barton. Third act though, that's when the stakes do get raised. That fight versus Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Tony Stark. Tony's going for the kill there, and I love it. He's like, I don't care. She killed my mom. That's one of my favorite lines of the year. Real good. Real good. All right, we got to keep moving down this list, Chris.
All right, so now we're at 7, right?
We're at 7.
So, this is a good one.
No build up. Give me the goddamn movie. I'm sorry, Chris. I get so
such a rush.
I get so confrontational when it's your turn to give and then I throw out my Batman versus. Now I feel like this has become a battle. We have formed our own superhero battle. This is Chris v. Elliott.
Yeah.
The ultimate edition.
Finally, you say the movie right. So my number 7 is Manchester by the Sea.
It's not on my list, Chris, but it made my honorable mentions of the year.
What happens in Manchester by the Sea, I guarantee is sadder than what happens in other people. With Casey
Affleck. I feel like it's going to go spoiler territory, folks. Be careful.
Children. With what happens with his children.
Well, it wasn't. I didn't choose it based on which one was
the saddest thing I've ever seen. And then just the fact that his brother dies.
Yeah,
and then
the dude's got a crappy life.
Yeah, but I like how it ended too, where It didn't end where they're like, oh yeah, we're together. We're like, we're gonna do it. No, like he's like, yeah, I can't, like, and gives up, or it's like you're gonna go with these people. Like,
And the
it was just a
saddest
good
thing,
movie.
the saddest thing about that movie, it didn't make my list. Sorry, it didn't make my top 10. I can't change my mind.
I just thought it was really good. It was, every time I'd see it, I'm like, that movie's gonna be a little snoozer. And then I watch it, it's funny.
I did like that there were some bits of humor in it.
Yeah.
Because I was
like,
afraid it was going to be real dark and depressing.
Yeah, that's what I was
and
going,
real,
you know,
like,
with, like, it's just gonna be a
I'm going to
friggin'
slit my wrist at the end of this movie.
yeah. But it was good. It made sense on what it did.
I'm not arguing with this one. I like Manchester by the Sea. It feels weird to even say I liked it because it's like,
It was good.
you like children death and brothers dying. But no, it was a very well done film. I think Casey Affleck did a great job. I am all for him
I think he
getting
could
the
win.
best picture or best actor. I'm fine with that.
I'd be alright with that.
There was some good.
If they're not going to give it to Denzel, then they can give it to Casey Affleck.
Maybe I think I just wanted a more well-rounded list, and
Yeah,
that's
you
why
tried to shoehorn in like,
No.
gotta have comedy,
no,
gotta
I
have
no.
a drama.
Spoiler alert!
When
I don't have a comedy on here. Not a true comedy. Just wasn't.
All
great.
you've told me is that Other People is about the funniest movie you've seen in years.
No, it's just as funny. It's probably funnier than Manchester though, and they both do it.
Well, I hope so.
I'm telling you though, they both do a similar job though of taking a very depressing
I
situation
will tell you.
and making it real, while also like
Shut
finding
up.
the humor in it.
So,
Sorry, I was only making a very good point.
the nephew in Manchester by the Sea, the one that he's supposed to look after, Casey Affleck.
Yeah, Patrick.
I sent you the text, and I believe it
Patrick.
because I've watched it twice. Is a young Matt Damon.
Yeah.
He sounded and acted just like a young Matt Damon.
Fun fact: Matt Damon was supposed to direct and star in that movie.
I did hear that. And another fun fact: Patrick
Is a star.
was one of the characters in Moonrise Kingdom, along with his girlfriend in the movie, who played Susie, the main character of Moonrise Kingdom.
All you Moonrise Kingdom fans. Fun fact.
Where my kingdom's at.
Represent. Like 4 guys just went, woo. All right, Chris. Manchester by the Sea. Solid picture for sure. Go see it.
Yeah, pay to see that one. It's a good one. So you want me to do number 6?
Yeah. And then I'll do my 7 and 6.
All right. So this was a real good one. I don't know where you have it. You probably not even on your list. Arrival is my number 6.
I'm going to read verbatim from, I have an honorable mentions section. This is verbatim. Manchester, comma, Arrival. And then there's a couple more. So there you go.
You didn't even put Arrival on your list?
I made my honorable mention. So it's number 11 or 12 possibly. Listen, Chris.
I don't even know what you watch. I don't know what you look for when you watch a movie.
I liked it. A little slow for me. Love the ending, but it just wasn't enough to make the list.
Edge of my seat the whole time.
Chris,
with the wonky circle language.
Listen, Chris, this is all subjective.
It's got Clint Barton in it.
I like that movie a lot. And
Forrest Whitaker, Saw Gerrera's in it.
Okay, but besides the cast, what did you like about this movie so much, Chris?
I like the idea, the concept of what the aliens were trying to
give the
humans and
how about language
and how they were communicating and what Amy Adams' character had to do. Like, I'm not a scientist, if you couldn't tell, but I feel like it was a very accurate portrayal of how a language expert would go about learning a new language.
Yes. I thought it was a very intriguing movie. It came with a lot of smart ideas. Really good script. Love the ending, like I said, and like just such a realistic take on, an alien invasion. It feels weird to even call it that because, we're so used to seeing these alien invasion movies that are, Independence Day and like blow up the world. Yeah. This is hopefully a more realistic take.
Hopefully if aliens come, they're not trying to kill us, they're trying to help us.
Yeah. Show us the future. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Should have said that before.
Well, if you've seen it, you would know. You probably already knew that. You talked to the weird squid people.
I agree. This is the one that I wanted to put on my top 10.
But you didn't.
It didn't make the list. But it's a darn good movie.
darn good.
I said darn because obviously we don't swear in this podcast.
I don't know why.
We have swore multiple times.
I don't know why we're trying to say PG-13 like we're
staying PG-13, I think.
like we're X-Men.
I haven't said F-bombs yet.
I just said it, idiot.
Anything else about Arrival, Chris?
Yeah, it's a good movie and you should have been on your list.
I feel like you're getting so depressed that these movies aren't on your list. I feel like it's actually hurting your reviews because you get so annoyed that they aren't on my list.
Well, they should be, and I think you make bad choices.
I know. All right, Chris.
Oh, that's yours.
Oh, I'm so nervous to get some of these now. My number 7. I think you'll get behind this one, and maybe it'll be on your list further down. Hell or High Water.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. So this one made your list later.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we can discuss it now.
That's fine.
Or do you want to save it for later?
I mean, do you want to know where it's at on my list then?
You know what? This is what we'll do. If we are in a situation like we are right now, we will save it for the person who has it.
Higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Closer to number 1 on their list
Okay.
because obviously they are slightly more passionate about the
Yeah.
movie. So since you do have it, we'll skip it for now. But my number 7, remember, Hell or High Water. Chris will discuss it more later. We both will discuss it more later. Number 6, film I don't think you saw, but once again I said you can watch this on Netflix right now. Good movie, Sing Street. It is the story, and Chris is shaking his head, you guys. But here's the thing. He hasn't watched this movie, so I have a problem. He can't get too mad about movies he hasn't seen. But this is a movie takes place in Ireland.
Which I'm already behind.
But it could have taken
like
place
Ireland.
anywhere. This is like John Hughes.
This is every man's movie.
This is a John Hughes movie that takes place in Ireland. It's about these kids that basically the main kid is loves the music of the era because this movie takes place in the 80s. And he's trying to impress a girl. So what does he do? He says he has a band. He doesn't have a band. So what does he do? He finds his, other weird friends that he has, and they make a band. And they become pretty good, and they make music videos with their crappy little homemade, handheld cameras that they have. And it's just a real good movie.
Does he get with the girl?
At the end, he might get with the girl. I don't want to spoil it, Chris.
Oh, this is what you don't want to spoil.
I don't want to spoil it.
This is one you don't want to spoil.
Because I know a lot of people haven't seen this movie. And I think they should. It's got some great music in it. It's original songs. But they sound like songs from that era. And they're really good songs. I think one of the biggest snobs from the... snubs. Sorry.
You're one of the biggest snobs.
You're a snob. One of the biggest snubs from the Oscar nominations this year was that the song Drive It Like You Stole It from Sing Street didn't at least get a best song nomination. It's a real good movie. Really good relationship between... the younger brother who makes this band and his older brother who
hates his band.
No, he's just kind of his older brother who kind of doesn't know what he's doing with his life, and he kind of just departs some good knowledge on the younger brother. And I don't know, it's a good movie. I'll tell you this: if you're gonna watch this on Netflix, you might want to turn the subtitles on, or just give it the first 5 to 10 minutes to let your ear adjust because. Listen, it takes place in Ireland.
Irish accents are tough.
Yeah, and this movie is filmed in Ireland. This is a true Irish movie, so I'm telling you.
Real Irish brogue.
Oh, it's good though. It's good.
You can't do an Irish accent.
I'm trying my best though. Sing Street, real good movie, real feel good movie. Number 6 of the year. All right, Chris, we're into the big boys. Top 5 time.
These are the big boys. You said that.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's just go back and forth here. So you can start with your
That's
5.
fine. Number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in hot. Rogue One.
Ooh. We're going to have to wait to talk about that because that is lower on my list.
Higher.
Well, it depends on... It's a lower number.
Sure, but it's higher up.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So,
Is it
what's
higher?
your number 5?
Number 5, a movie called Patriots Day.
Oh, all right. That is, we'll go now because that's my number 4.
What? Oh, it's your number 4
Yeah.
movie. Okay, so yeah, might as well. It's really funny if they're like, all right, we got to wait on that one. They'd be like, my number 4 is Patriots Day.
Yeah, so I was...
Finally, we're not going to argue too much because
No.
this is very close on the list together.
The Patriots Day picture, starring Mark Wahlberg, really good. He did a good job. All the people who played real actors, because I know he wasn't based on a real person.
Not real actors, real people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know Mark Wahlberg's character wasn't based on a real person.
Yeah, he's pretty much the only character that they kind of fictionalized just so that you could.
He's like the
But I'm sure he's based on real people in that circumstance.
Sure.
But he's probably
It's a little
an
easier just
amalgam
to have-
of multiple people. Yeah.
as a central focal point to
Yeah.
be like, this is who we're following for this.
Mhm.
But yeah, overall, it was really good. Like, everyone did a good job acting. John Goodman.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Kim Bacon.
J.K. Simmons did a real good job in that.
Oh, yeah.
I like him a lot. But yeah, Patriots
And then
Day.
there's a ton of actors that we don't know the names of that did a great job too. That Asian man.
Oh yeah, the one that
that
got kidnapped.
gets kidnapped by the bombers. Oh, he just his scene. That's one of the most tense scenes of the year, I think.
Yeah.
When he's trapped in that car with those people.
Oh yeah, that would be so scary. They do a good job
of making you feel like you're that
Yeah.
guy in that situation and being like, oh god, how's he gonna get out of this? Patriots Day. That's one of the reasons I like this movie so much. Is that it's such.
I like the scene where they bring in one of the bomber's wives who's white,
Yeah.
but she's converted to Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
and they bring in the black like CIA agent dressed up as like she has her Muslim.
Yeah, she's got her the garb on or whatever.
Yeah. And that was just a good scene of like she doesn't break her like.
No.
The girl sticks to her guns of like, I'm not telling you guys nothing.
No.
I don't care who you bring in here and try to relate to me.
Mm-hmm. It just does such a good job of showing all these events that we obviously know about in our that from the news. Depending on how much you watch that coverage of the Boston Marathon bombings, would be how specific you remember it all. But this does a good job of documenting all of it. While, just staying so compelling the entire time. And the fact that it's a true life story, I think, is what makes it so good.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's parts in this where literally, I'm watching this and I'm like, if this wasn't a real life story, the bombers would look like complete idiots. Because, I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, these are stupid bad guys. Because there's a part where they're literally, getting texts from their friends being like, is that you on the TV?
Yeah.
And they're not immediately like, oh, I'm going to go drive right to Mexico.
Exactly.
But it's real life. This is what happened. And it's through these weird series of events that they fortunately were caught. And it shows the slight level of luck while also the level of persistence by all these different people and authorities and just the people of Boston to catch these motherfuckers. Drop the first F-bomb, but I thought it was an appropriate time. I think we can all get behind that F-bomb.
The end of it, too, where it's kind of like a little 10-minute documentary of what happened with, the real people, and this is, who they are and what happened.
Uh-huh.
I like that Peter Berg did that, to bring it back to be like, this really happened.
Peter Berg, the director,
that these are the real events that happened. These are the actual people. You can see them that went through this.
Yeah, I feel like they did a great job of doing their research for this movie and making sure that they were... Because, let's be honest, this just happened, it seems like yesterday. It was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So to make a movie this soon is kind of a risky proposition. Because you can have people being like, you're trying to milk a tragedy here for some money or, it's too soon. But the way they did it was very classy. I think,
Even when they show
it's a testament to Boston. I think it's just a really good.
Boston Strong when they have what's his name for Boston?
Big Papi, David Ortiz. They refilmed him with this movie.
Yeah, the whole thing.
It's just
it's good.
Yeah, it's a good, smart movie. It doesn't take liberties. It's not trying to be sappy or anything.
See, what's funny is this is the second movie this year that Mark Wahlberg was in that was based on a real event,
directed by Peter Berg.
In which Deepwater Horizon was actually nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, really?
It's in
sound or something, yeah.
But either way, this movie should have been.
I can't believe that this is not a Best Picture nominee.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. It seems...
I feel like the voters...
just didn't see it or something.
Or were like, no, that's just another Mark Wahlberg
something
action
happened.
fest.
The studio didn't push it hard enough, or I don't know all the politics that go into the Oscars or the awards, but this movie deserves to be a Best Picture nominee. It's great. It kind of reminded me in a weird way of Zero Dark 30. Just with how realistic it was and just kind of put you in the shoes of those people going through those days. And
put you in the shit.
Oh, geez, it does. And it is a good movie.
It is. Definitely see that one.
See Patriots Day, guys. So that was your number 4, right? My number 5.
Yeah.
All right, so now...
Your number 4.
My number 4. Another weird one for you, Chris. And I feel like whenever I have a weird one, I always get to say the same thing. This movie is on Netflix. So if you want to watch it on Netflix. This is a documentary. But Chris, you might be able to get behind this one. This movie is called Raiders, the story of the greatest fan film ever made. All right, I'll admit, a little bit wordy of a title. But
it's a mouthful.
But damn, it's a good movie. And let me give it a brief synopsis here. So this is a documentary about these real-life kids that back in the 80s, I believe.
Say the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s. Took their parents, camcorders and decided we're going to go wrangle some kids up from around the neighborhood and film a shot-for-shot remake of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it just does a good job of documenting all the clever ways they had to, put their brains together to figure out how to make this look, as close to the original Raiders of the Lost Ark as they can. Because obviously that's a big budget, action movie with like boulders, and it's Indiana Jones, guys. Like, how are they going to replicate Indiana Jones in their little neighborhood? And they film it through the cross. So they take some years to film this movie. Like they film it all over, all over the place. It's not chronological at all. So
this is the one
their ages jump all over the place.
They couldn't film a certain scene.
And yes, and then this is kind of the secondary plot of the movie is that
the whole documentary.
in modern day times, now they're now adults. They're in their 30s at least, and they're all having their own jobs and everything. But there was one scene, the airplane scene, that they just never were able to film. It was their one scene that was missing in the movie. So they decide to join forces once again and film this scene. But they're not doing it like they were when they were little kids. They're doing this Hollywood big budget style. And, that's its whole...
It's the best scene in the whole movie.
But it's great. It's like, that's its whole other, can of worms. It's like so many more difficulties for them. And the way and it shows all the personalities of the kids and the drama that they had behind the scenes. And I recommend, just watch it. I don't know. I could relate to it because when I was younger, I did do things like nothing to that scale, but I filmed, movies on my parents' camcorder. Good. So I made my
scale pretty good.
Yeah, I made my fun little movies with the kids in the neighborhood and my brothers and sisters. So real funny movie, real good movie. Make you feel good. Watch it.
Love it.
Love it. Raiders. Type in Raiders on Netflix. You'll probably find it. Story of the greatest fan film ever made. Number 4 of the year. I know it sounds weird, but I stand by it. I almost wanted to put it higher on the list.
My number 3 is one you had further down your list, or further up your list. I don't know how you go ups and downs.
It's a movie we've already discussed?
No, we didn't because we waited because it's Hell or High Water. It's your number 7.
Ah, yeah.
It's my number 3.
Nice.
You're the one who told me about it because I was kind of
I'm a smart man.
Yeah, I was not really aware of this movie.
Chris, say you're a smart man.
Never will I do that. It just Chris Pine and Ben Foster and Jeff Bridges all, I think, did a really good job acting. I think the story is really good of this guy trying to...
These brothers.
Yeah, these brothers trying to get his house back. Mm-hmm. It's a
clever idea, too.
It's like a Western town. Ben Affleck's
They're bank robbers.
Yeah, they're bank robbers, but they're only robbing specific banks.
They're like Robin Hood. Yeah,
they're
these banks have swindled them because of the financial crisis and all that. And now they're trying to get it back for them.
They're robbing these banks to pay that bank back.
It's trying to take their house, their mother's house.
It was good. It was really good.
It was a really good movie, Chris, and that's why it's also on my list.
Yeah, shocking.
I'm not going to say anything bad about it. To be honest, this is one of the movies that I think I said earlier. Like, you can always try to find like something bad about it. I can't really pick a flaw in this movie. I mean, the scale's a little small, but who cares? That's the type of movie.
Small town, but that's what it was.
And that's one of the good things about the movie. Like, my favorite scenes in this movie are not even like the shootouts or the bank rob. It's just the scenes where they're sitting at diners, I think.
Yeah.
Like, those are my favorite scenes in the movie when the brothers, you already said, Chris Pine and Ben Foster. Ben Foster, who, dude's been acting his butt off for ages. You guys go to IMDb, look up Ben Foster's, filmography, and just start watching some of those pictures.
Dude, you'll
find some winners.
Your Warcrafts, just standout pictures.
Why does he do it to me? Like, I know he agrees with me. I know that's my thing, guys. I know he is a big Ben Foster fan. And then I try to have this big emotional appeal to you, the listener, about Ben Foster. And then he just throws me under the bus by throwing one of his most garbage movies on there. You know what? I take it back. Do what you want. Screw Ben Foster.
You don't take it back. You don't believe that.
Don't you say that about Ben Foster. But anyway, let's say about the diners. Oh, yeah. So those scenes are like some of the best scenes in the movie. Yeah. And even like the little small supporting town people that they found to play are hilarious. Like there's that scene with Jeff Bridges and his partner.
Oh,
and then there's that like grouchy waitress. He's hilarious.
Just the
He's got like 4 lines and I still remember it. And I watched this movie like half a year ago.
What is it called? The relationship or the dynamic between Jeff Bridges and his partner are funny because Jeff Bridges is a little racist.
He's an old-time gent.
But his partner never takes him serious. And spoilers.
Oh, this is a big spoiler. Don't do it, Chris.
All right.
No spoiler for that one. I think people are still discovering Hell or High Water.
But
it's an emotional ending.
It's good. It's really good. And I like the... there's another scene. When Chris Pine tips with a waitress like $200. Mm-hmm. And then Jeff Bridges is like, yeah, we need that money back because it came from bank robbery.
Jeff Bridges is a cop in this movie.
Yeah, he's like the sheriff.
He's on their tail.
Yeah. And they're like, we need the money back because it's a bank robbery. She's like, yeah, you're not getting my $200. Yeah. Like, that's a huge amount of money for her.
She's like, and they gave this tip before they robbed that bank. Yeah. So, no.
It was good. I would highly, highly recommend that. That's why it's my number 3. Highly recommend.
Really gives those shades of gray. Like, it's not just good guys versus bad guys.
Because, I mean, they're obviously...
You see both sides of the story.
Yeah, they're robbing banks, which you shouldn't do, but
you can
they're doing it once you find out the cause of what they're doing.
Reason, yeah. Really good movie. I haven't really watched that yet, and I really want to. Man, it just shows how strong of a top 10 we have, guys. Real strong.
Yeah.
Are you cheating on my list?
No, no. It's no Sing Street, but it's pretty good.
You haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, it's better than
I know another movie that we haven't even talked about yet that is probably on your list, and you really did not want to see that movie. So we'll get to that eventually.
He's
laughing because that was one of the best comebacks I've ever made. All right. That was your number 3, right?
Yep.
My number 3, Chris, which I'm thinking it's going to get punted down to you, The Founder.
Yeah, it's my number 2.
All right. Thanks for not building up the suspense. We'll get right to it then, right? Is that okay?
It's fine.
We may discuss The Founder?
Yeah.
All right.
Shoot.
Quick little preamble here. I know. You're probably like, he always does this. He talks
Everything is a preamble.
He talks too much. It's a podcast. We talk. What was that?
That was a bad impression.
It wasn't even an impression.
Actually, it wasn't bad. It was definitely...
Schmitty?
Well, yeah.
A little Schmitty. But it was
Schmitty, which I feel like is your way of saying a little Jewy.
No, Schmidt from New Girl. Oh, God. We're going down some dark turns here, guys. I apologize for my co-host. The Founder...
I'll never apologize for that.
Okay.
I take my
comment. Fully comment. You're probably thinking The Founder, maybe also when you heard Patriots Day, you're like, these movies came out in January, you morons.
Patriots Day came out in January?
Wide release, yes.
Oh, yeah. No, it came out in 2016.
So you guys are probably like, you idiots, how are these on your 2016? These are 2017 movies. Wrong, as Donald Trump would say. These movies had limited releases in 2016. We checked. They were eligible for nominations for the Academy Awards. So they count for 2016 movies, and just because we saw them in 2017, doesn't matter. They were still the top movies of 2016.
Eat that.
So The Founder, yeah, sorry. I got distracted. I get confused. Story
of a cheeseburger or something.
Yeah, Ray Kroc, the man behind McDonald's, or so we thought.
He's the founder of McDonald's.
So we thought. Such a good movie. And I had my expectations pretty high for this movie because the trailer was really, really good, and I was like, I can't wait to see this movie, and it lived up to it and more.
My expectations were so high for this movie that I honestly felt I was going to walk away disappointed.
And it's your number 2 of the year.
It's really good. Yeah. Michael Keaton does a great job. Just the whole, if what they say happened in this movie is what happened in real life, that is crazy. That this guy pretty much shanghaied these brothers.
The McDonald's brothers.
Yeah. It is now, you don't know Ray Kroc from McDonald's. You don't know Mac McDonald and other McDonald's.
Well, you probably wondered why it was called McDonald's at some point.
It's because it sounded American.
That's right.
Which I thought that was an odd way of.
Another movie that I'm just shocked is not getting the awards buzz.
Yeah,
that
that should have been definitely a Best Picture nom.
And Michael Keaton, how is he not
Yeah.
even nominated? He's not even nominated.
He killed that role.
He's in almost every scene of that movie.
Yeah.
And even the supporting performances are great by the McDonald's brothers, Nick Offerman and John Carroll Lynch,
yeah.
my boy from my
Zodiac, what up?
from my Body of Proof days.
Oh yeah.
My wife booty danced with John Carroll Lynch.
Nice.
Fun fact.
He was the Zodiac killer. That's weird that you did that.
Oh, but he's got a heart of gold. The Founder, just such a smart movie, such a good script.
Had a which I read it and then I was like, I don't know how that's possible. Had a very Social Network feel.
Totally. Because you like kind of an anti-villain or an anti-hero.
Yeah.
But you root for him, and then he does some things, and you're like,
You're
all
like,
right,
man.
I can't really root for you now. But there's part like it's a weird dynamic. Like you're watching this movie, and there's part of you that's just like, this dude is just a really motivated businessman who's just
He was gonna make sure that
and he knew
this
the right
idea
way.
knew was gonna succeed at this point.
Yeah, and there's just parts where it's like it's another movie where it's just it's not black and white. Like it doesn't make him out to just be a complete villain.
No,
You could see both sides of the story because the McDonald's brothers wanted to keep it small, and they're just running their single McDonald's back in the West Coast, and he's trying to make an empire.
Yeah,
and they're being stubborn, so he's going to do what he's going to do. And
thanks, Ray Kroc.
Yeah,
because I still eat McDonald's almost on a monthly basis.
Yeah, McDonald's, and
I'll say weekly.
I'll tell you. If you can watch this movie and not want to eat McDonald's afterwards, then you are a stronger person than I am.
I immediately went and bought 2 regular cheeseburgers.
Because that's the way it was intended.
Yeah, absolutely. They charged me a little bit more than 15 cents.
Yeah.
But
the prices have gone up over time. But, man, the Founders...
Did you not want to eat a cheeseburger after it?
I totally did. I was starving for McDonald's. The French fries, too.
Oh, yeah.
Cooked to that perfect time and temp.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
System.
Oh, the Speedy system. It's such a... That's a movie I'm going to rewatch so much. I can already tell.
Yes, I agree. I feel like that has potential to be like... The movie I would say I watched the most, my favorite movie is Moneyball.
Yeah.
I just feel like this has potential to be...
This is your Moneyball of the year.
Yeah, because I could watch it again and again.
Yeah. We could go over this list in 3 years and you could have a completely different order, guys.
Yeah.
But The Founder, I don't know how anybody could not enjoy that movie.
The Founder has potential to be number 1.
Totally. This top 3 that I have is extremely strong. And as I rewatch them over time, I feel like they're all going to jump around in the order.
Yeah.
To be honest, this whole list is probably that way, but especially my top 3.
The one thing I ask of you is never put Batman versus Superman at number 1.
Chris?
Just off the list, or 10 is fine.
Maybe we'll see Justice League and it'll change our minds on everything. Who knows?
I know. So that was my number 2.
My number 2 is this small independent picture with this guy named Darth in it.
Oh, Rogue One?
Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry it wasn't a better joke.
Yeah. You should have said Saw Gerrera.
I'll edit that out.
We fix that post.
We'll fix that. Rogue One. Listen.
For you, it's actually Rogue 2.
I'll edit that out for you.
That was a better joke
I'll edit that out
than your Darth joke.
They're remaking these Star Wars movies.
They're remaking them now.
Are awesome. Thank you, Disney, for giving George Lucas
the boot, really.
Well, not just the boot. They gave him like $4 billion. Thank you, because these movies are awesome.
Out. We got it from here.
The fact that they can take the opening crawl of the original Star Wars movie and turn it into a movie this awesome makes me so excited for the future of Star Wars movies. I think Force Awakens was number 1 on my list last year. Now this one's number 2. We live in a great world, Chris.
We live in a world where there's a movie coming out called The Last Jedi. That's probably going to be... Hopefully, that's already the best Star Wars title of all time.
I know. And this is not your typical Star Wars movie. This puts the war in the Star Wars. I kind of went Richard Nixon there a little bit, didn't I?
It's a good movie.
Chris, is this movie on your list? It has to be.
Yeah, I fucking said it was. It was number 5.
Oh, okay. This was another one that we were waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I thought that I was jumping on your toes there. Apparently not. Now you're jumping on mine. Such a good movie. Such strong characters. And the fact that they had, spoiler alert, the balls to just kill them all off like they were supposed to for it to make sense in the canon.
I can't spoiler the fucking partner of Jeff Bridges dying, but you spoiler the whole ending of Rogue One.
You should have seen Rogue One by now. It was in, like, Hell or High Water was in theaters for like 2 weeks. This movie has made $1 billion.
Rogue One.
It's made $1 billion. With Seinfeld on you. Come on.
Yeah.
Watch Rogue One.
I agree. They did a very good job with
explaining
it and answering plot holes, essentially, from A New Hope of why would this giant space station
have this fatal flaw?
Yeah, this one little flaw.
It makes Star Wars, the original Star Wars,
a better movie.
A better movie for sure. And gives Darth Vader probably the best scene he's ever had in a Star Wars movie.
The Darth Vader scene in Rogue One is...
It's the bee's knees, as your grandparents would say when they were rocking and rolling in the 50s.
It just made Darth Vader the badass he was in 1977. How those people watched Star Wars A New Hope.
Yeah.
And they were like, Darth Vader's a badass. But this definitely gives him he's a badass.
This dude.
Why you would fear him.
Oh, yeah.
Going into A New Hope. Because we had no idea. But now, after seeing this, like, he stabbed that guy.
He sliced him in half on the head and, probably my favorite scene of the year. And it's probably like 30 seconds long.
Yeah. The lights are out, and then all of a sudden you just see his red lightsaber light up.
And it's right at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he just kills everybody.
So awesome.
And you're like, this is how Anakin Skywalker this is him turning into Darth Vader.
This isn't the end of Revenge of the Sith with him going, no, Padme. This is
baby mama.
This is badass Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Just choking fools,
chopping,
throwing them, chopping and choking and stabbing. It's great. Watch Star Wars or Rogue One.
Yeah, watch it, or you're an idiot.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more poignant now after the passing of Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you brought a dead man back to life in Rogue One. Another thing we didn't even talk about. But
that was amazing.
They brought a dead man back to life, and I bet 70% of the people who saw that movie didn't realize they were watching a special effect.
Yeah, that was spot on.
We are living in the future. All right, Chris. Ready for the number 1, right?
Yep.
Are we going to sing it?
My number 1, are they the same?
I don't know.
Whoa.
Is it?
That's the go-to song for you for that, huh?
No, it's just the opening of it.
Mine is City of Stars.
City of Stars.
But that's honestly the one song I have on my iPod, or my iPod. How old am I? My phone, my iPhone, is the "Start a Fire" by John Legend.
Yeah, that was good too. But we're burying the lead here.
Here we are.
The number 1 movie of the year for both of us
is La
La Land. And I know you're probably saying these schmucks have just been listening to all the hype of the award shows, and they're all got the La La Land fever. And I'll tell you this. Chris McVinney, if you would have told him a month ago that his number 1 movie of the year was La La Land, he would have punched his own self in the face and said, "You're a fool, Chris McVinney. You're a fool." What do you say to that?
I agree.
What do you say to your past self?
I agree. Because there was no way. I was so determined to not watch this movie. I'm not a musical person. I don't like musicals.
It's not a shocker that it's my number 1.
But maybe I should start giving them more of a chance. Because I watched this movie just because I was like, I'm going to watch every movie nominated for Best Picture. And I've heard all these good things.
Yeah,
it's
check
so
it off the
good.
list.
Oh, God,
check it
La
off.
La Land. Best thing that's ever happened to movies.
And then
I watched it.
It bear hugged you and didn't let go.
But I will tell you, there's a couple things that happened.
Yeah.
When you told me, oh, yeah, you wouldn't like that at all.
Oh, come on. Now you're turning me again.
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. Because what you said was just the opening. You were like, no, he's not going to like this. Yeah. You are right. I do like the opening, but if I was there and I'm like, oh my god.
Luckily, I gave you that warning.
Yeah, because I was like, all right,
you
it's a
might have
whole
just shut it
thing.
off right then. Okay.
Because it's not actually really. That is like the biggest musical production number in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Everything else is much more subdued and much more just
realistic.
Yeah, more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's just the costume, the pageantry, the whole thing.
I'm telling you,
just great.
The moment
Ryan Gosling kills it.
Oh, the moment that I realized, okay, this movie's living up to the hype, and this is going to be one of my tops of the year. Little did I know it was going to be my top of the year. Is when they're leaving the party, and they're trying to find the cars, and the sky's all purpley, and they start going to that little tap dance number.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is why they make movies, people.
It's so weird. Similar.
Okay.
Why it was subtle. Why I liked it even more because it showed early on how much he liked her was that they're walking looking for their cars.
Yeah.
And literally he's just walking with her because once she finds hers, he walks all the way back to the house.
The beginning.
Yeah, the beginning.
His car's right
and gets
there.
in his car.
Yeah.
Like he walked with her just to be walking with her.
Which is the tail end of that scene, so I'm just going to say you agree with me.
I love Ryan Gosling. I'm going to tell you that
Yeah.
straight out. The guy does no wrong in my eyes. So, just the whole thing. He's funny. She's funny.
The performances
are
great.
The performances, they sing. It's not like they got overdubbed by better people who can sing. It's them singing on the day.
Yeah, and it sounds real. Like
it doesn't.
And I think that's
hard to hear in some points.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think the opening scene kind of took me off guard a little bit, is because you're not used to hearing music. You're used to hearing this overproduced stuff. You can hear the vocals, but the background music, the instrumental, is just as important. Like we said, Chris McVinney doesn't like musicals, and this is his #1 movie of the year. If that does not give you a reason to get off your butt, but
go watch,
go to the nearest theater and watch La La Land.
It's a great movie.
It'll make you.
I've literally a movie I said I was never going to watch and probably never going to like. Since I've seen it 3 times. And it's just an easy movie to put on.
Yeah.
Like, you can just be like, I'm going to put this on and like...
Even if it's in the background,
yeah.
it's good. It's nice.
It's funny. I love it.
Super strong movie. And definitely the front runner to win Best Picture.
I hope
and
it
obviously we're both rooting for it heavily. If you appreciate like cinematography and directing, you'll notice all these like single takes that they do in this movie.
Yeah.
Like that whole tap dance is like one scene. They like jump into the water and then come out of the water.
Yeah.
And that party scene, that's all one take. It's just awesome filmmaking.
Yeah, he's a good. But he did Whiplash.
And Whiplash was a kick-ass movie, and it was also in my top 5 of 2 years ago. Damien Chazelle, man.
He made
dude has got a tough act to follow because he knocked 2 out of the park.
J.K. Simmons loved jazz in Whiplash, and made him hate jazz in this movie.
And I hope he brings them back.
Which that's what's funny too, is not even that. Yeah. I don't like jazz music.
No.
And then I watch this movie, and I kind of like jazz music now.
Both movies. Anyway, that was our top 10 of the year. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you see these movies.
Yeah, watch them.
It's
not Batman versus Superman. You don't have to watch that because that's crap.
Yeah, and don't bore yourself with the fences.
Oh, all right. All right, I had it coming.
Yep.
I will tell you, at least we agree. La La Land and The Founder.
And Rogue One. And Patriots Day were all made our top 5 of them.
Yeah.
So our top 5 is pretty solid.
Pretty solid.
All right. It's been the First Two Beers podcast. Chris, we didn't start with our traditional tink, so let's end it with
We can end it.
All right. Goodbye, folks.
Goodbye.